Hey Browns fans, it's time to gear up for a pain-free 2022 NFL season for your Cleveland Browns with new friends of the show, Buckeye Law Group. If you've been injured in a car accident, a slip and fall, a work accident, or even if you've been buried into the ground by Myles Garrett or stiff-armed by Nick Chubb, you need to call Buckeye Law Group today at 1-800-411-PAIN. Their attorneys will fight for the money you deserve. Buckeye Law Group's attorneys have recovered over $1 billion for their clients throughout the entire country. So don't make the mistake of calling just any other attorney. Call attorneys you can trust, and best of all, they're Browns fans just like you. Call our friends from Buckeye Law Group at 1-800-411-PAIN. After 911, call 411. That's 1-800-411-PAIN. 1-800-411-7246. That's Buckeye Law Group, located at 1300 East 9th Street, Suite 1210 in Cleveland, Ohio. Buckeye Law Group, proud fans of the Cleveland Browns just like you.
What's up, Browns fans? This is Mike from Cuyahoga Falls, and you're listening to the Dawgs podcast. Let's kick this thing off. Arr!
Welcome to the Dawgs podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs podcast. If you want to get your intro on the show, head to thedawgspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. Today we're going to get into our preview of the Ravens game, see what we have to do to stay within 40. But before we do, I want to remind you to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. You can also find us on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts if you prefer to just listen. Lastly, if you're looking for more Dawgs content, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, get an extra episode every week. It's cheap therapy for when the Browns get beat by 20 plus to the Patriots. You can jump in the Discord on there and just talk about all your sorrows. I was just talking to my wife today about there's a private Discord for the Patreon, and somebody jumped in there and asked a question. Nobody had been talking. It had been silent since last night sometime, and he just randomly, somebody messaged something, and all of a sudden there's 40 replies to this guy from all across the country. It's a super cool thing. The private Discord is a lot of fun. We got game threads all the time, fantasy leagues with everybody. It's just a cool place to hang out with Browns fans. So if you're looking for more access to us and you're looking for friends around the world who are all Browns fans in shared misery, jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. So, like I said in the opening, unfortunately, we play the Ravens this week. And I say this, sadly, not because I think the Ravens have been a dominant force this year, but just because I think the Browns are a dumpster fire. And I just don't see a world in which this defense holds Lamar Jackson at bay at anything. If he wants to throw for 400, he'll throw for 400. If he wants to run for 300, he'll run. It's going to be Lamar wakes up and wants to do that day. That's what he's going to do. That's just, I don't see nothing the Browns have done this year defensively has told me to expect anything different.
This could be a 300-100 game for Lamar Jackson.
That
very easily could be.
Stop. Please don't say that.
The guy has that capability. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It's in his range of outcomes, especially against this defense.
I think Bateman's still out. I did see a thing that said he's getting closer to coming back. Obviously, the big threat in their passing game right now is Mark Andrews,
who always has his way on us too.
Yep, but Duvernay is obviously a target. He's played pretty well. Nobody on their team in the passing game puts up crazy numbers, because it's not really what they do.
Say the same for the Patriots.
Mark Andrews puts up pretty good numbers for a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes them go is Lamar. And in the last few games, Lamar hasn't even been that crazy. But we talked about this in the last episode. Sometimes just what the doctor ordered is a Joe Woods defense. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got to be licking his chops. And I want to say, have JOK spy him. JOK only played like 30% of the snaps against the Patriots. His play time's going down. And it's just, did we overhype some of these players like JOK and Delpit, or are they just regressing in a terrible system? I tend to think they're regressing in a terrible system.
We've seen that happen with established players before.
John Johnson.
See it happening Denzel Ward. Guys that we know are good.
I'm pretty sure when we signed Denzel Ward, he was the third-ranked safety by Pro Football Focus. When we signed him, that was seen as John Johnson. What was I saying?
You should Denzel Ward.
Oh, when we signed John Johnson.
Yeah, you're right.
It was seen as a move that like took us
to the next level. Made us contenders.
He was the premier free agent safety on the market, and he has fallen off a cliff for the Browns because we're playing him out of position. We're asking him to do what isn't his strength.
Yep.
It's just so what have we done to make us think we're going to keep this close? I think if we don't get stuck into a shootout and we can keep running the ball, I think we can score on them. Mm-hmm. Nick Chubb's had good games against the Ravens. Mm-hmm. So I think we can score on them if we don't fall into the same trap like we did against the Patriots and get down. If it's a shootout and we're always within a score, 10 points, so the run game stays alive, then I think we can score 40 right along with them. But if they get out to a lead and they're up 20-0 or something, and we got to abandon the run game,
yeah, we had the one voicemail in the last episode. The guy says something about our offense can't score to save its life. That part I did not agree with because we've seen up to this point in the season our offense can score.
We were fifth in the league in efficiency, and then now, even as bad as this game was, we're still sixth.
Yeah, right. So one bad game for the offense, that's over with.
You had to know at some point we were going to have a bad game.
Absolutely.
You can't play. You can't have a backup quarterback is your starter and think you're going to just keep coming out playing lights out on the offensive side of the ball.
Every quarterback has down games. Mahomes has down games. Now, his down games can still win.
Yeah.
Now, Jacoby Brissett has a down game, not going to win.
His floor is a little lower.
That's why you go out and, like you said last episode, that's why you go out and get Deshaun Watson. Because when he has a bad game, you might still be able to win. With our defense, maybe not, but that's the idea.
I just don't know, if there's, any expectations for us to win this game. And maybe that plays in our favor. Maybe these guys are nobody's betting on us. We're the underdogs. Maybe it gives them a chip on their shoulder, but they just look like they don't care. They have no interest in being competitive football players right now. So to me, I worry that we go out there, especially for Cleveland and Baltimore fans, this is a big game. It doesn't matter if these teams are both 0-6. We hate Ravens fans. Ravens fans hate Cleveland. So This should be a game where these guys are fired up. It's chippy. It's a divisional game. Should be close.
Right now the line is Baltimore minus 6.5.
Yeah, I saw that. 6.5.
To me, this is a culture game. So both teams have probably been a little bit underwhelming to this point. Ravens fans and the Ravens organization isn't happy being 3-3 right now. They definitely probably expected to be better. I know they expected to beat the Giants.
For sure.
But that being said, they have a culture of winning, and they know that if they stay the course and they buy in and do what they're coached to do and do what they're supposed to do, they'll right the ship and win 8 in a row. The Browns don't have that culture right now. Instead of us circling the wagons, hunkering down, buying into what coach is saying, picking each other up, it seems like they're quitting. They're going opposite directions. We got people in Twitter DMs saying, "Don't talk bad about me." What? Why are you worried about what this bum on Twitter says about you? Why are you not in with your teammates figuring out how to right the ship?
Yeah.
And I'm not some guy who says players live at the facility and they can't think or do anything besides football. But you don't. Why do you care what this bum says on Twitter? Why would you take the time? And what I saw, he wasn't even tagged. So that means John Johnson had to get on Twitter and search himself to see what people were saying about him. Talk about rabbit ears.
That's one thing that I think, with our culture right now, these pro athletes, if you're in season, I don't know. I feel like I would just be completely off social media. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. You got your thing to focus on,
Like some Zero Dark 30, LeBron James type stuff?
Right. And Twitter does not help you prepare for the next game.
Twitter's not real life. I know
Correct.
that. I know
Yes.
for some of the youth it is, but it's not.
It's not.
It's just crazy to me that we have players on the teams going to defend themselves. This guy's probably no disrespect to janitors, but what do you care what the janitor at the local high school says? You're playing professional football.
But, it's funny. You just said it. It is real life to the youth, and think about John Johnson. He's probably 26, 27 maybe.
Man, I don't know.
These are young guys. When you think about it,
I know. Yeah.
I was thinking
I know.
17. He's plenty old enough to not care
But
what.
these guys have grown up with it, though.
It's crazy to me. What do you care? I don't even care what people say about me on Twitter.
I know. Yeah.
Like, I could care less.
And you're a freaking loser.
One of the biggest ones there is. You know what I mean? There's nothing special about me at all. And I don't care what anybody says. So I don't know why John Johnson has to feel the need to get on Twitter and defend himself. And to me, that's just the difference in the cultures in the organization. I would not be shocked if the Ravens rip off like 8 and we were about to lose 8. Hopefully I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Prove me wrong, please, Cleveland.
They're not good
Prove
enough.
me wrong.
They can't.
Jeez. You know what go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the thing that I'm more worried about going into this game is there's a possibility that I haven't heard anything about Myles Garrett. Clowney was out again. Ward's probably out again. And then another big one, it's not even a defensive player, is Wyatt Teller went out. If Wyatt Teller's not out there, our run game is considerably different. I know that we have Nick Chubb, we have Kareem Hunt, but those guards are the heartbeat of that offense. I mean, I know Nick Chubb is Nick Chubb, but there's a reason why he does what he does, and it's you pay that money to those guards. So if Wyatt Teller's out,
it's a big loss. I mean,
it's a huge loss.
He's a top 3 guard in the league, probably 3 to 4 guard. If not, you can make arguments that he's the best. Him and Bitonio. I'm pretty sure that last year they were graded 1-2 by PFF. That's a big loss.
All right, Browns fans. The kicker's lining up for an onside kick. The chances of regaining possession are slim, unless you're kicking to the Browns. The stakes are high and the tension is higher. Your pulse racing. He kicks. You watch. The ball lands. Make every play feel this exciting with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and their unbeatable offers. Right now, new customers can make any $5 NFL bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped-up same-game parlays once per game day all season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN. Get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Just place a $5 bet on any football game. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
From tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall. With their mouth-watering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra-juicy burgers, and easy-to-prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Right now, take advantage of 50% off site-wide by shopping their semi-annual sale. This sale only happens twice a year, and it's on now with 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when you use promo code DAWGS at checkout, take an additional $30 off of your order. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter DAWGS at checkout, and stock up on fall flavor today. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights with entrees ready before the kids can say, what's for dinner? And don't forget to use the promo code DAWGS at checkout to score an extra $30 off your order. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life. Guaranteed. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code DAWGS at checkout. Minimum order may be required. Now let's get back to the show.
Obviously, the Ravens like to run the ball. Whether it be Lamar, Kenyon Drake just had 119 yards and a touchdown on 10 carries.
Yep. Saying Gus Edwards is he's in the window to maybe come back this week.
And Gus Edwards is a big back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's like a Ramondre Stevenson type back, just between the tackles, just punish you kind of guy.
Call him the Gus bus for a reason.
We got to tackle better. I know Stefanski said they focused on tackling in the week. And then late in that game, they hit, I don't know who they threw it to. I think one of their tight ends. And Delpit comes up. Instead of wrapping and tackling and driving his hips, he just tries to shoulder push this guy into the. This guy outweighs you by 80 pounds. What are you doing?
Pretty sure it was Jonnu.
Why would you not come up and freaking tackle him?
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was Jonnu Smith. Yeah.
I'm like, that is terrible. You said it in the last episode. Delpit needs benched.
Benched.
I don't care how bad your defensive coordinator is. I watched this play when the jet sweep touchdown. There is Emerson's outside of Delpit, and then the D line. They got a tight end and a tackle on the line. It's almost like an unbalanced line. They send motion at Delpit, so he should be paying like, "Hey, I'm going to have this guy. He's motioning towards me." The tight end blocks out on Emerson. The tackle blocks down on the D end. They didn't block Delpit. This is an NFL team, and he's an NFL starting strong safety, and they said, we don't have to block this guy this play. He didn't even get a hand on him.
Was that toward the end of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that because it just was like he didn't even try.
He didn't. He jumped inside away from the motion. The dude got a jet sweep at him, and he jumped away from it. The dude cut off the block on Emerson and ran for a touchdown, and Grant Delpit, unblocked, didn't even get a finger on him. This is professional football, and he was unblocked and didn't make a play. Not only did he not make the play, he wasn't down in 2-hand tap. I mean, that is embarrassing. So, Delpit, let's get our boy D'Anthony Bell in the game.
Yep. But I can tell you, and we said this last episode, they will not bench anybody. They will not bench a player. I would take Harrison. I would take D'Anthony Bell in a heartbeat. Just for, with D'Anthony Bell, at least I know there's going to be some energy. There's going to be some effort.
Yep.
He's going to put it on the line.
I guarantee you put D'Anthony Bell in the game, he's giving you everything he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might athletically not be as talented or physically as specimen as Grant Delpit, but at least you know you're getting the effort. I don't see that. I haven't seen that yet from Grant Delpit. And Grant Delpit, we put so much expectation. We thought he was going to be the breakout star of this defense.
He flashed last year.
He did?
That's why I said I have a hard time evaluating defensive talent in this system.
Well, and because it's the same thing. You look at the roster on paper, you look at all the names, and the names you're like, okay, that's a good player, good player, good player. We have a great roster of defensive players. How can all of them suck?
Correct. You mean to tell me all of a sudden JOK, Delpit, Newsome, John Johnson, all of a sudden they just all have regressed that much? That's impossissible.
Yes, I'm with you. 100%.
It's impossible. There's no way these guys. JOK was the steal of the draft. Andrew Berry was being talked. He was the talk of the town for somehow getting Newsome and JOK in the same draft.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, JOK can't play football? No way. No way. At the beginning of the year, he was one of the highest graded PFF linebackers by PFF. After the first game or two, I'm pretty sure. All of a sudden, he doesn't know how to. I mean, there's just, it's impossible.
Yeah.
These guys, all of a sudden, they don't know how to play football. It just makes no sense at all.
So I have a very analytical reason why, unfortunately, I do not think we're going to beat the Ravens. Their win-loss record this year has gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. So
they're due.
They're due for a win.
And then they play the Buccaneers after that, which could be a loss. So it's the Dutch 200 for all you bowlers out there. But no, it's just I pulled up some of their stats. Lamar's thrown for 1,200 yards, almost 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's also the team's leading rusher, which is pretty normal. He's got 451 rushing yards already. That's pretty.
Wow.
6 games in, he's already got almost 500 rushing yards. Their leading receiver right now is Mark Andrews. We won't cover him.
No.
We won't cover him. He'll be wide open. So if you got Mark Andrews in fantasy, start him confidently.
I do have him in one.
Take a risk on any other players you want to because he's going to have a big day.
Okay, let's go back 20 minutes.
Okay.
Some of you guys said you think this game's going to be close. I disagree. Why is it going to be close?
My one reason to think it would be close, just looking at previous history, week 4, they lost 23-20. Week 5, they won 19-17. Then they lost 24-20. So their last 3 games have been very close.
Before this loss, we'd lost 3 games by a combined 6 points.
Yeah, our games have all been
to a bunch
close,
of teams with losing records. I mean, Lamar is just a freak.
We know, John. We know.
He always kills us, except for the game we injured him. I mean, he makes us look so stupid.
Yeah, he can literally go to the locker room, take a shit, come back and throw a touchdown pass against us.
Yeah.
And win.
So
I put in a lot of my stock in that, too, that it's a divisional game.
Well, okay, that's fair. That's fair, but I'm calling like a 14-point loss.
Okay. I mean,
that's closer than I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
Well, I've been saying 40, but I mean,
it's one of those games where if we're able to take care of the ball. And we're able to run the ball, like, because, the Ravens defense can be beat. If we can rip off, the Nick Chubb, the usual, the big run plays, and mix in some Kareem Hunt and kind of control the clock and do what we do, like we did the first, 5 games, then we got a shot to at least keep it close.
We'll see. As you can tell,
so convinced.
We're not overly confident. I think you got to control time of possession, run the ball, yada, yada, all the same things we say every week. Sure. The problem is we've done that in some games and still lost them. Yeah. And I'm just at a loss is, when I say what do the Browns need to do to win, show up and try.
Play defense.
Yes. Do
better.
And do something different, please. Stop doing the same thing that didn't work last week or the week before or the week before or last year or 2 years ago. Do something different. Somebody has to be like, hey, Joe.
Can we send 5?
We're doing this again. You want to – wait, this is the plan again?
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to change this up at all? Mm-mm. I mean, come on.
I mean, why is this Stefanski and they're saying changes this week or you're gone? You're the change if this doesn't get changed.
He should have said that 5 weeks ago.
He should have.
And here's the thing is we're about to go on a slide. And even though I said last episode, if you didn't watch last episode, I'll say it now. The Browns are about to lose a whole bunch of games in a row. I don't want to be too negative, but if you think I'm wrong, go pick out the games we win in the next 7.
Right. Ravens,
6.
Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Buccaneers. Then Deshaun comes back. We play the Texans.
Correct. We might not win again until that week. And then I'm still not penciling that as a win if our defense is still terrible and you don't know what we're going to get out of Deshaun the first week.
And you don't know what
Mills might go out there and look very, very good.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Bailey Zappi did. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So if we're about to rattle off 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 losses in a row, which will be 8 in a row. You shouldn't be surprised about that. You should be surprised about the last 3. This Patriots game, I don't know if you can necessarily be surprised by a loss, but you could be surprised by how lopsided the loss was.
Well, are you really that surprised? Look at what they do to us every time they play us.
Yeah, it's like this was that game last year.
I think we haven't
always this game.
I think we haven't beat them since Peyton Hillis.
2019, didn't we? Wasn't that the game in New England where we got throttled and Odell was trying to get Tom Brady to sign his shoes and stuff?
Yeah, Nick Chubb had the fumbles.
Yeah,
it was the first fumble of his career.
That was a lopsided loss for us last year. Yesterday. It's always kind of same thing against Bill.
Yep. So we're about to lose a bunch of games in a row. And the media and the fans are going to be screaming for total overhaul. And I'm talking Stefanski. They're going to be talking about everybody should be losing their jobs. I'm just here to tell you guys, the next 5 weeks, relax. You should know it's coming.
Yeah.
And we've known it was coming for months.
I think that's a good point to make because we talked about this last episode. Like, if you're thinking you're going to stop watching the Browns or you're going to stop watching us, like, just try to hang in there because, like you said, this is going to be a tough stretch. But then we do get Deshaun back, and then it does get real again. I mean, the back end of our schedule, some winnable games. Who knows what else is going to happen in the AFC? I mean, crazy things happen.
In theory, you need 4 wins when Deshaun gets back, and if he can be perfect, and then we can go 10-7. Now, I don't know if I can pick 2 more wins out of this. I really don't know.
I mean, the Steelers just beat Tampa Bay.
Correct. The Steelers beat, and we seem to have the Bengals number lately.
Yes.
So can we steal those 2 games? We will see. So, but you should, like I said, you should know this is coming. Be very angry that we are 2-4 to this point. Don't lose your minds when we go 0-5 the next 5 weeks. We knew this was happening in August.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a reason why we said you had to start 4-0 because we knew getting to this point then there weren't many wins, if any. That's why we said you had to start 4-0. They didn't. So if you're going to be mad about anything, be mad that we've only won 2 games to this point. In 5 weeks from now when we're 2-8, we're not firing everybody. Hopefully 2 people will be fired. But
right.
Probably not.
Probably not. But there's going to be a lot of pressure. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be 2-8, and they're going to be screaming for everybody to be fired. Calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I guess, a little bit of our preview with there's not much to preview with the Ravens. Come out and try to stop Lamar. We've literally never been able to do it unless we break his ankle. So if you can figure out a way to do that in 5 days, maybe we have a shot.
The only game I can think of is that 2019 one with Baker where Nick Chubb just ran wild.
Yeah, and
But there's no expectations.
But you know what happened in
No
that game?
expectations.
What happened in that game too is we jumped on them
Yep.
Yeah.
and they had to throw. And especially rookie Lamar or second year Lamar, whatever that was. He's better at throwing now than he was back then.
That's
Yes.
fair.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing that just happened with the Patriots and the Browns. You know, they got on top of us in the third, and we had to go abandon the game plan.
Lamar is prone to throwing interceptions, especially when he's trying to force it and push the ball down the field.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, the game could go that way. If we do jump out on them, a couple turnovers or just a turnover, and then we flip it into a score, and all of a sudden it's like, okay.
Very
You know?
confident.
I'm trying to give the
Very confident.
Please keep watching the games, guys.
Do you guys want to do a score prediction?
A lot to a little.
Go ahead, John. What is it? 30 to what?
I'm gonna say
I
we
don't
lose a shootout. I'm gonna say we lose a shootout like 40-28.
40 to 28.
That's not a terrible prediction. I'll just say 40-27. I'm too tired to think about it.
Nice.
Sorry we woke you up for the
Yeah.
score prediction.
Yeah.
I'll go out on a limb just to save our season, hopefully. I'll say we win 31-28.
Good job. I like
100%
that.
confident.
That's funny. I was going to say 31-27.
Okay.
So
Browns or Baltimore?
let's go with Browns. Let's just do
Okay.
it. Let's
Hey,
just do
let's
it.
do it.
We got to
Let's-
steal. We got to steal too. Let's
bring
make
some
this one of
optimism
them.
back.
Let's
Yeah,
just.
absolutely.
And before I
absolutely.
wrap this up, like Aaron Butler and Willie Johnson and
Our
Ravens
YouTube friends, yeah.
Ravens
Ravens
be
flock.
more.
Oh,
We get it. Like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, please just, I don't need to know how much your backup left tackle weighs. Just keep it to yourself, for the love of God. Like, I don't need it. Go comment on a Ravens podcast if there is any. But no, to everybody else, the Browns fans, hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Don't give up on us. You can give up on the Browns, but don't give up on us. Remember, if you want to leave a voicemail for the show, thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail. And if you want some extra content, join thedawgs.com to become a Dog Pack member. We will see you guys next week, and hopefully we kept it close. Stay safe, everybody.
and what?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.